these tonic herbs are the ones that were listed in the classics as those herbs which were so safe, although need to acknowledge that they do have their medicinal actions as well. They're so safe that they can be integrated into the lifestyle and into the diet. So let's go a little bit deeper. When we're talking about the combining of herbs, there's certain questions that come up. Should I take a Superfeast formula or another tonic herbal formula, or should I take a single herb? How many blends can I do at once? How many single herbs can I do at once? What's the point of formulas? What's the point of single herbs? We're going to go into that. And I'm going to try and be as succinct as possible. The point of this is that this is so foundational to one's engaging with herbs. And there's certain little nuances here that you will be able to gain some insight on, and most likely you'll be like, oh, I've instinctually been doing that kind of combining anyway. I have instinctually felt that a single herb has got this intention or seems this way, whereas a blend is a little bit different. You'll feel a lot of that today because you're on the tonic herbal path, and we want to take you deeper onto this tonic herbal path because it is a path and it's a lifelong path. That doesn't mean you have to be taking herbs every single day, but what these tonic herbs represent in that decentralization, moving away from an institutionalized health towards the cultivation of our own personal health sovereignty, personal health culture, personal relationship with herbalism, and then therefore nature. So taking single herbs, remember there were certain herbs in tonic herbalism which we'd say, like Ron Teagarden, who was one of my mentors, gave herbs at a 5-star rating. And so there are herbs like Schizandra, Chaga, Euphorbium bark, Goji, Albizia flower, Cordyceps. These herbs are at a 5-star safety rating. And tonic herbs with a 5-star safety rating, including all the ones that you see that are available as single herbs at Superfeast and many that aren't offered as single herbs, they are the ones where no matter what's going on, even if there is a little bit of symptomology, this is Rhonda Chang. I talked to Rhonda Chang about this when she was on the podcast, an amazing acupuncturist, an amazing Chinese herbalist, written many books. You've heard me talk about it lots of times. And I was asking, what's a tonic herb? And she's like, everything's tonic, because you can take the most dangerous herb and use it in the most perfect scenario, and that is going to be a tonic for the body. And I was like, great, but what about the ones that are tonic in the sense that they can be used really widely by someone who isn't a specialist in herbalism? She's like, okay, I get what you're saying. And yeah, they're the superior herbs. And she's like, like ginseng, Schizandra, astragalus, because there's not really that much that can go wrong, especially if you're not symptomatic and you're taking them. And so the whole point of these herbs versus so we've covered why single herbs are used in tonic herbalism sometimes a little bit. There's just that distinction between clinical and tonic herbalism. We're going to go into it a little bit more later, but yes, we are very intentionally using single herbs in tonic herbalism, and quite often why it's misunderstood. Why would you do it? If you're a clinician and you've learned the dangers of using herbs and the fact that you have to combine herbs in a formula expertly, and we'll go through what that formula is for formulating very generally, because they're so ensconced in that world and you can understand. But when you get into taking of a single herb, that's when you start getting into that aspect of Taoism, which was taken away, which was that connecting with the livingness of a herb, the personality of the herb, not to personify it, the magic, that biophilia aspect where something awakens in you and you can really have a communion with the individual consciousness or direction or energies of that herb. And you learn a lot about yourself because you've got a single herb coming into your world. There's something awakens, but we're going to get to that a little bit more later. So when we do formulate in tonic herbalism, because that's the place where it is safe for you to have a play around. So we're not using major dangerous herbs. And this is where this herbal combination, this formula I'm about to give you, this is where you can start to really lean in as a layperson or a hobbyist like me when it comes to Chinese medicine. You can start to lean in and start engaging with some aspects of herbalism which have previously been like blocked out. No, you're not allowed. This is our area. So what happens when you create a formula, there's often a leading intention, and that's the major herb. There's other archetypes that you can bring in. Maybe I'll bring the general of the formula in, but we're just going to go some pretty approachable terms, the major herbs. So they're the major function of the formula. So it's often the major dose, and that has the dominant effect on the body system. But these herbs are indispensable in the intention of the formula. So just quickly on that one, looking at major herbs, you can generally see anyone that's formulating, there's going to be a central 1 to 3, maybe 4 herbs. That's what we want to deliver, that particular effect that they are bringing to the body, or the interacting effect. Even when you come to tonic herbalism, sometimes it is important to use this formula, which will go down major herbs, minor herbs, supportive herbs, and guiding herbs.